Swaay.Health.
Hello, Colin Hung here for Swaay.Health. We are less than a week away from ViVE 2025 in Nashville. So I thought I would share a few things that I'm looking forward to at this year's event. But before I get into my list, I have to give a big shout out to the ViVE organizers. They tried to make all the session titles at ViVE this year to be titles of well-known songs, obviously playing on the theme of Nashville. It's not easy to come up with so many puns and so many riffs on classic, riffs. So kudos to them for giving that a shot. It was a very cute agenda to walk through. Here are 8 things that I am looking forward to at ViVE 2025. Number 1, the production value at the conference. The themed signage, the over-the-top entrance to the exhibit hall, and of course, the puppy park. Now, some people have commented to me about how much money is wasted on these production elements at ViVE. I'm not going to pass judgment on the organizers for it, but I will say that as a marketer, it is a rare opportunity to see how people react to a well-thought-out and well-branded healthcare conference. It's not often that we get to see a conference break the mold, because let's be honest, a lot of healthcare conferences follow the same formula. So I love studying the various aspects of ViVE. It will be interesting to see, for example, if the acquisition of Health by the Hive Group has any impact on the overall conference. I expect this year's version to be pretty much business as usual, but I will be on the lookout for any improvements and changes now that new management is on the health side. Of course, the Chime side is still in place. They're still a co-host, so no changes on that aspect of the conference. Number 2, the spotlight on nonprofits and associations. This year at ViVE, they've included a dedicated pavilion for nonprofits and leading associations, and there is a focus on the agenda to include these important members of the healthcare ecosystem. For me, it's definitely nice to see that these folks are getting some of the spotlight at a major healthcare conference. Number 3, the ViVE exhibit hall. I mean, what else did you expect me to say? The exhibit hall at ViVE is always one of my favorite things to check out. It is a feast for my marketing eyes and ears. I love seeing all the interesting booth designs and displays. And I wonder this year how many booth attractions there were, because last year in LA, there was a noticeable decline in booth attractions. I'm talking about things like games and magicians and those kinds of things. So I'm curious to see if this year's exhibitors will be bringing that back in Nashville. I'm also curious to see if the trend of food as giveaways continues at ViVE 2025. Personally, I like that trend, but I do miss being able to pick up a charging cable and a battery, mostly because I keep forgetting mine. Item number 4, booth 1102, the ViVE Instagram moment. I mean, with a label like that, I just have to check that out. Number 5, the Best Buy Health booth, which is number 902. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the continual evolution of Best Buy Health's brand positioning. Will they have new technologies around patient monitoring? And will they have changed slightly their messaging as to how they see themselves fitting in the larger healthcare ecosystem? Number 6, the AARP booth, number 1502. This one's always filled with interesting patient and member experience technology, and I expect this year's edition to be no exception to that. Number 7, the Kairos Health booth at number 1837. I'm curious to see what new patient access and silo-busting initiatives they will be talking about at ViVE 2025. Finally, number 8, the Government Pavilion. ViVE 2025 will feature its inaugural Government Pavilion, where they plan to highlight agencies and platforms dedicated to health innovation and advancement in the government. I'm looking forward to seeing that because let's be honest, we hear about all the policy stuff that government is doing, not a lot about their advancements. As a bonus, here are 9 ViVE 2025 sessions that intrigued me when I looked through the agenda. Number 1, awesome title, It's the End of Cancer as We Know It. That's happening on the country stage on the February 17th at 10 a.m. It features India Williams, Vice President of Operations at Swaay.Health, Bea Bakshi, CEO and co-founder at See the Signs, very cool name for a company, and Dr. Nainish Parikh, Assistant Chief Medical Officer at Moffitt Cancer Center. Session number 2, Adopting Connected Digital Health Experiences to Improve Patient Engagement and Outcomes. That's happening February 17th at 10:25 a.m. at the stage in the Interop Now area. This session features Brian Kopp, Associate Director of Digital Transformation at UCare. Also, Chris Staley, Chief Digital Officer at Horizontal Digital. Session number 3, Transforming Prior Auth, featuring Dr. Lynn Nowak, Chief Data and Analytics Officer at SureScripts. That's happening 10:45 on February 17th in the Interop Now area. Prior auth is such a big patient experience challenge. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say and how they are addressing it. Session number 4, A Mobile Approach to Clinician Satisfaction at Mackenzie Health. That's happening February 17th at 11:10 a.m., also in the Interop Now Pavilion. The speakers are Pruvi Desai, VP of Digital Health and CIO at Mackenzie Health, and Dr. Aviv Gladman, CMIO at Mackenzie Health. This session looks very intriguing, and of course, I had to throw just a little bit of Canadian content into this preview. Session number 5, The Dog Days Are Over for Retail Health. That's happening on the Rock and Roll stage, 10 a.m. on February 18th, featuring speakers from Walgreens, Amazon, Waltz Health, and the National Council for Prescription Drug Programs. With all of the things happening or happened in retail health, I'm going to be very curious to see what these folks have to say about the future of that mode of healthcare. Session number 6, Measuring Patient Data Quality with PIQI, happening February 18th at 10:20 a.m. at the Interop Now area. This session features Charlie Harp, CEO of Clinical Architecture. He always brings it in his presentations, and I love how he always chooses a different theme for each one of his presentations. He will be joined by Ryan Howells, Principal at Levitt Partners. Session number 7, Blame It All on Healthcare's Roots, at the Rock and Roll stage, February 18th at 3:20 p.m. This session features Ed Yurkison from NCQA, along with Farmbox RX, Community Health System, Kayaba Care, and Primary Venture Partners. Number 8, the ViVE Pitch Competition. That is always a fun session. I really enjoy seeing the new companies showcase their stuff on stage. That's happening 9:15 a.m. on the Rock and Roll stage on the final day of ViVE, February 19th. Finally, number 9, Just What the Doctor Ordered. Flexible, transparent payment options. That's happening 9:35 a.m. on the Jazz stage on February 19th, featuring Caroline Meehan, Senior Director of Partnerships at Affirm, and our very own John Lynn as moderator. Now, if you are in Nashville and at ViVE 2025, Don't forget about the Swaay.Health HITSM Meetup and Picture on Monday, February 17th at 12:15 Central Time. That's local time to Nashville. That's happening at the entrance to the exhibit hall. We'll be snapping a picture with all of us, and undoubtedly that will become my default background on LinkedIn. Now, if you can't make that, you will likely find myself and John Lynn hanging around the podcast area or the Media Village area, which is right around the far right side of the exhibit hall. I hope to see you in Nashville, and if you are traveling there, please travel safe, and look forward to seeing you at ViVE 2025.